Surprising wins, late-game comebacks, and standout performances. Sunday brought the action. I'm Mike Yam, and here's what we learned in Week 6.
Oh, that is pure Baker Mayfield. Absolute Baker at his best.
Not many expected the Panthers to beat the Cowboys. And probably even more shocking, they kept it close the entire game. Rico Dowdle faced his former team and ended the day with a statement performance. He blasted through the Dallas defense over and over. He ended the day with 183 rushing yards on a career-high 30 carries, in addition to 4 catches for 56 yards and a score. Bryce Young, he looked good too. Maybe his best so far this season. Now, the quarterback made highlight touchdown plays and hit all 3 passes of 20-plus yards. His connection with his rookie wide receiver T-Mac could be the difference maker in coming weeks. If that part of the offense finds some traction, the Panthers can stack some wins.
The Panthers upset the Cowboys!
Keep an eye on this 3-3 Carolina squad after an upset 30-27 win over the Cowboys. The Bucs are 5-1, and they have Baker Mayfield to thank. Already without Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Jalen McMillan, the Bucs lost star rookie wide receiver Mika Buka for the second half. It didn't matter. Their quarterback still diced up the Niners' defense with backups. The key sequence came deep in the third quarter, 1-point game. It's a 3rd and 14. Mayfield miraculously tucked out of his sack, scrambled, juked through some tackles, and then stretched out for the first down, doing absolutely everything he had for the first. 2 plays later, Baker found Tez Johnson for his first career touchdown. Mayfield's will to win is unmatched, and it carried the Bucs to their first win of more than 3 points this season.
Well done by Baker. He made that look a lot easier than it was.
The Bucs, 5-1, silenced the doubters in a 30-19 win over the Niners, a team who has 4 wins themselves. The Patriots are suddenly 4-2, and their young quarterback is making splash plays every week. On Sunday against the Saints, Drake May threw for 3 touchdowns, and it should have been more. May was only sacked 1 time, hit a few other times, but the pressure was there quite often. Time and time again, May stared down the rush and delivered accurate throws all over the field. He also had a touchdown and nearly 100 passing yards negated by Patriots penalties, but still dominated in the Superdome.
Drake May again highly efficient, 261 yards, 18 of 26, 3 touchdowns.
Mays carried the Patriots to a 4-2 record with no signs of slowing down. The Chiefs and Lions Sunday Night Football game had all the makings of a potential slugfest, but the Chiefs reminded us they're still the Chiefs. The Lions got on the board early with the touchdown pass to Jameson Williams, but they never led again. Mahomes, he looked confident for the entirety of the game, spreading the ball around, using his legs, and running one in himself. Managing that game clock was critical. Mahomes ended the night with 4 total scores, 257 passing yards, which complemented the play of the defense. That defense held the high-flying Lions to just 2 touchdowns and only 203 passing yards for Goff. Now, it was clear the Chiefs wanted to rebound from that primetime loss last week to the Jags with a statement. It's a 500 record, good for 3rd in the division. That might seem like they aren't contenders, but the win against the Lions changes the perception of this team with a winnable division game with the Raiders ahead.
And what we've seen out of Mahomes here tonight is that he has confidence now.
It got chippy at the final whistle, but the Chiefs confidently take this one 30-17. Joe Flacco made his Bengals debut at Lambeau Field, and while the Packers won, there's some hints of hope from Flacco's first start in a Cincinnati uniform. Considering how little time he had to mesh with his new team and learn the playbook, it wasn't surprising to see the Bengals come out ice cold against the Packers, netting just 23 yards and 1 first down on their first 4 series. But Flacco eventually found a rhythm. In the second half, he led the Bengals on a game-changing 17-play touchdown drive that ate up more than 10 minutes to open the third quarter. Even with Green Bay taking a 2-touchdown lead, Flacco refused to give up, hitting Jamar Chase on an absurd touchdown and a successful 2-point conversion to Chase Brown to make it a 6-point deficit.
Flacco in his Bengal debut with 2 touchdown passes.
In the end, the Packers, they run away with it, but maybe Flacco instilled some hope, even with the Bengals falling to 2-4. It was incredibly close. The Jacoby Brissett-led Cardinals nearly pulled off the win over a red-hot Colts team. With Kyler Murray sidelined, veteran Jacoby Brissett got his first chance to start for Arizona in his former home of Indianapolis. With Brissett under center, the Cardinals converted 9 of 14 third-down attempts, compiled 3 scoring drives of 10-plus plays, and battled with a team expected to cruise to a win. Thanks to Brissett's performance, Arizona picked itself up off the mat after a Week 5 meltdown and battled through 4 quarters with one of the top teams in the league.
Jacoby Brissett filling in for the injured Kyler Murray has thrown for over 300 yards.
They lost, though. The Cardinals looked far better than previous weeks. In the end, Indianapolis takes this one 31-27. With multiple injuries on the offensive side of the ball, the Chargers locked in on their final drive when it mattered most. The Chargers surrendered a 13-point fourth-quarter lead and trailed by 1 point with under a minute remaining. It was enough time for Justin Herbert. On the second play of the drive, he escaped a should-be sack and found Ladd McConkey in space. After avoiding a tackle, the second-year wide out-sprinted 42 yards to set up an easy 33-yard field goal for Cameron Dicker to steal the win. Now, Herbert's operating behind a banged-up offensive line, but managed to avoid some key sacks all afternoon. And give credit to Kiami Vidal, who spearheaded an injured backfield and tallied 124 yards on 18 carries.
Kamani Vidal has had a day.
Los Angeles avoids a 3-game skid. Despite all their injuries on offense, they get a 29-27 win in Miami. History repeated itself. The Steelers make it 22 straight regular season wins against the Browns. Aaron Rodgers is leading the Steelers' offense far more successfully than many had predicted going into the year. He ignited the crowd early with a 36-yard completion to Darnell Washington on the first play of the game, but it wasn't until the second half where his offense started to put up some points. First, an on-the-run rocket fired across his body to Connor Hayward in the back of the end zone. Then he found his favorite target, DK Metcalf, for a 25-yard floater. They certainly didn't dominate for all 4 quarters, but it became clear in the third Pittsburgh was going to cruise to a win because Rodgers was going to guide it there.
He put it in the bucket to DK Metcalf.
The Steelers look fresh coming off their bye and tally their 3rd win in a row, 23-9 over the Browns. The Jags appeared to be a little lackluster in Week 6 after their highly talked about Monday night performance. If there's anything consistent for the Jags during this 4-2 start, penalties might be high on the list. On Sunday against Seattle, the majority of Jacksonville's 10 penalties were on offense, including a wicked one when Travis Hunter lined up offsides on Brian Thomas Jr.'s nullified 61-yard touchdown. Now, they did eventually score on that drive, but used another 8 plays and more than 3 minutes to do so. 2 other flags on special teams wiped out some good returns and hurt field position. And though it's a little unfair to criticize Jacksonville's defense, which had Travon Walker on a pitch count and held the Seahawks to 20 points and 13 first downs, the pass rush just wasn't good enough. Sam Darnold had an efficient game throwing the ball.
9 straight road wins if you count this one. It's the longest road win streak in Seattle history. They're adding to it.
The Seahawks have been sneaking out wins and sit confidently at 4-2, heading into a primetime Week 7 matchup against the Texans. There was no better time to meet the Titans than Week 6 for the Raiders, a team that was reeling after 4 straight losses. Vegas took advantage of the opportunity with plenty of energy in the middle quarters to claim a 17-0 lead with ease. Geno Smith, he looked more like himself for most of the day, and Ashton Jeanty found a bit of a rhythm on the ground. Vegas's defense suffocated Tennessee's offense for most of the afternoon, making for a fun day inside Allegiant Stadium. This was a much-needed win for their confidence heading towards a stretch against the Chiefs, the Jags, and the Broncos in the next 4 weeks. Unfortunately for the Titans, they still got a lot to clean up. Cam Ward's fumble in the final minute pretty much sums up their season so far.
Ward loses the football on 2nd down. An exclamation point.
Raiders take this one 20-10. The Titans hope to get their 2nd win of the season real soon. LA had some soul-searching to do on defense after its Week 5 loss to the Niners. This week, they had a favorable matchup against a Cooper Rush-led Baltimore offense. Had the Rams lost a 2nd straight game to a backup, might have been time to panic. Luckily, defensive coordinator Chris Shula pitched a shutout after allowing an opening drive field goal. Now, the Rams had 4 fourth-down stops, including a goal line stand just before halftime. They also forced 3 turnovers. The Stars, they showed out. Byron Young and Jarrett Verse combined for 14 tackles and 3 sacks, and Nate Landman was everywhere with 17 tackles. You can't help who you play, but you certainly can help how you look doing it, and the Rams' defense appeared to be dominant.
Here it's the Rams making plays as Byron Young gets home for the sack.
Los Angeles takes this one 17-3 and advanced to 4-2, while Baltimore continues to freefall at 1-5. Denver escaped London in another close game, this time just a 2-point victory over the winless Jets. Bo Nix was effective in the first half and scored the only touchdown of the game on a pass to his tight end Nate Adkins. The quarterback was shut down for most of the second half with 0 passing yards through 4 possessions. Luckily, Denver's offense, it woke up on the next drive and that ended in a chip shot field goal to take the lead. With the sluggish offense, the Broncos leaned on their defense, sacking Justin Fields 9 times and limiting the Jets to just field goals.
Avoids the sack until he can't.
9 sacks of Justin Fields on this day.
While the Broncos head back to the States with another win, if they want to remain on top of the division, their offense will have to help relieve some pressure on the defense.